The moment I thought would never come is here. Rex Viper has released their live performance from the 2023 Too Many Games from Arnold's Park parking lot. I don't know. People said it was in a venue or something. I don't know. Either way. So yeah, I honestly didn't know if this event would ever actually happen, and it has, and it's the full performance, and they've kind of spiced things up a bit as far as the production. But does it still suck? Well, that's what we're gonna look at it. So yeah, stick around as we diagnose the Rex Viper 2023 performance at Too Many Games. This is Dancing with Ghosts. So the beginning of the show that they have on, not only has this been officially released, but this is released on Rex Viper's own ass YouTube channel, so you know that this is got the stamp of Screenwave and all that. The clip opens up with Rex Viper! Good old Justy Silverman doing the voiceover with the crowd of nerds. Rex Viper! Rex Viper! Rex Viper! James's 95% male audience just chanting Rex Viper, Rex Viper, with the kind of gusto of someone who's never been to a real concert. It's just kind of oh, this is something cool that I can do at the expo. So it's just, I feel like it's just another thing that they can go and do. It's not bro, I'm so pumped to go see this concert right now. I'm going to open up the circle pit. I'm going to throw some fists. No, this is just oh, let me take my bag of, shit that I bought at the festival and check out this, Angry Video Game Nerds band. So, as Rex Viper walks through the crowd, the parting of the Red Sea there, you see Justin's ass in the back. This man has been demoted. He is in the back of the room. He knows it was a huge mistake for him to be on stage for those first 2 performances, you can tell, and now he's right where he belongs, off the stage and far away. And you know what? That's fine. Have him just announce. He's got a decent announcing voice. And he's even self-aware of James's audience. He's like, "All right, nerds, are you ready to see some Rex Viper? Are you nerds ready to rock? Yeah!" So, guy's very self-aware, as we've talked about on this channel and other channels such as Red Cow. We've all raised the point that Justin is very aware of the Cinemassacre truth and all that jazz. So, Anyway, the set opens up with the fucking Mighty Wings and Hadoukens. Yet again, I'm having to talk about this song. As far as the sound goes, just some techie shit right off the bat, because that kind of sets the stage for the entire performance. The drummer and the keyboardist sound like they're directed right into the soundboard, meaning that there's no, you have to direct in keyboards because obviously there's no speakers on a real good quality keyboard that you can mic, so all keyboards are direct in. The drums sound very much direct in, and what we're getting is the board recording, meaning that if you listen to the drums on this performance, they're not really, there's no reverb or wetness to the drums. They're very dry sounding, meaning that that's a direct signal right to the board. Those 2 instruments are directly in, but the other 4 people are just recorded on a potato. I don't know what the deal was with that. I don't know I'm sure they would have mic'd the guitar amps, but some stages are so small that you don't need to and you shouldn't mic the guitar amps because there's no point, because just the volume from the amp itself is loud enough for the room, and if they were to mic it, it would be overkill. In this case, knowing that it was going to be a professional recording that was going to be sent out to James's millions of fans, I would have mic'd everything to where you could have had control over the mix very specifically after the fact. They did not do that for this. So what you end up with is a pretty quiet vocal, lead vocal. His vocals sit a little right beneath the music, it sounds like a lot of times. The lead guitar, the infamous lead guitar player who was probably drunk or high the first time I listened to him play live, I think they've just done a thing with him to where they just turn him up and down throughout the show whenever they feel like he's gonna screw something up, or oh, I heard this in practice yesterday and he was not hitting it, so we're just gonna fade his knob down a bit here and then turn it back up here, because his volume does go in and out throughout the show. James, you can hear all right. He's just doing rhythm guitar, he's just sitting in the background the way he probably prefers. I will say, with someone actually taping the event semi-professionally, it gives the performance more of a professional feel. And keeping the band dark, was a smart move as well with the lighting. A lot of times it's very just dark blue washes, and every now and then they'll turn on the lights, a bit, but for the most part they keep the band dark. Unlike, again, their last performances, where I feel like for the most part it was like almost like house lighting, which looked like ass. Nobody needs to see like all those dads on full display, so it was a good idea to have them very dark. Again, we have pitchy singer. Lower the fucking key or something if you can't hit those notes, but obviously they may not be proficient enough to know how to change keys for songs, which is funny because with a guitar you literally take it and you turn the tuning peg down into where you're a step down on all 6 of your strings, and now guess what? You play the same exact riff, but it's a key lower, easier for the singer to hit the higher notes, which this guy is singing out of his range, and you'll see that a lot throughout this show. One of the funnier things that really made me laugh out loud when I was watching it, British singer guy goes, "Are you ready to have fun at Arnold's Family Fun Center?"
Are you ready to have a good time at Arnold's Good Time Family Fun Center?
That's got to be something somewhere. There's like a cover band in their mid-40s playing a bowling alley, and they must have said something very similar to that, like putting your whole heart into it. Like, are you guys ready to rock and roll at Cassett's Bat Bowl Family Fun Center? Like, you couldn't have felt great saying that. But anyway, Arnold's Family Fun. You guys ready to party on 3 Mile Island here? I mean, the building in the past video I showed you looked like the thing had just been shelled in like the 80s, and it probably has nuclear fallout still around the parking lot area. So then they go into the Star Fox Push It to the Limit mashup, which I'm still recording. They don't have a video for this song. This is one of their like concert only songs, which thankfully, I don't think we need any more music videos, right? It's got a cool keyboard intro. And then it just kind of goes into sloppy Rex Viper, just typical what you've come to expect at this point. And then at some point, the singer comes up, he's rocking the whole leather jacket and all that, and he complains about how it's too hot, and it's like, yeah, dude, leather jackets get really fucking hot, especially on stage. That's why you shouldn't wear them unless it's like winter or something like that. So he takes it off. Why is the dude wearing a 9 Inch Nails t-shirt? Seriously, dude, you're in a video game mashup band. Isn't there some more like soy shirt you could have worn that would have like fit the aesthetic a little more? Like, don't wear an appropriate shirt. Don't wear the shirt of an actual like badass like industrial rock band. Like, everyone else was like seemed to be wearing appropriate lame shit, like in a silver Atari jacket. No, it's like that's more the vibe of this band, dude. You're not like in Sisters of Mercy or something. Like, don't wear a 9 Inch Nails shirt. James has this moment during this performance where he has this like super overly cautious jump, like he wants to do something like real rock and roll and badass. And he's like standing there at the ledge of this like 3 or 4 foot riser, and he's like, "All right, James, this is your chance. You're standing in front of 500 people. Yeah, they want to see something rock and roll. They want to see something badass. Stop being such a pussy and just jump already." And then he jumps, and it's just like, "Oh yeah, I really landed that one, man. Holy shit. Angus ain't got nothing on what I just did." It was just so cautious, the look in his eyes, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Like, he had so much to lose if that jump had gone wrong. Like if I break my ankle, I won't be able to do the nerd episodes. Then how will people know about ExpressVPN? Again, we're seeing here how like an example of like how I think they're muting the lead guitar player's guitar at certain points when they think he might fuck the part up. I mean, it looks like he's doing something here, but like you can't hear anything. So then we get into Hearts on Fire. The keyboards add so much more to these things and just make the performance overall like less crappier. Even though the lead singer sounds ever so pitchy in every performance.
Never surrender.
Again, nothing you can really do about that as long as you insist on keeping the keys of these songs in the original keys. I mean, why can't these guys understand that these 1980s cock rockers were not fucking around with their vocals? Like fucking Dave Bickler from Survivor and John Cafferty, like those are some big shoes to fill vocally, and British guy ain't it. He don't got it. So there would be no shame in lowering the key to where he actually isn't having to go, Marty Wigs tonight! Nobody wants to hear that. That doesn't sound great. So maybe consider lowering them a bit. Next we get to Never Surrender. I guess this is another new song. Well, it's got to be because it's not one of the original 4 music videos that I reviewed back in the day. Again, at 16 minutes in here, I don't know what the lead guitar player is doing these days on the guitar. But I'm pretty sure they turn him up for the easy leads and then back down when he starts wanking around with the little trickier parts. The keyboardist makes up for a lot of the lead guitar player's parts for this performance. Like, that cannot be overstated enough. Like, the keyboard player is really, like, if you listen, he's doing a lot of lead stuff that the guitar player would or could be doing, but this guy, I don't think, has the ability to. I now see why they suffered so much from not having this keyboard player in like the last show they did or whatever. It really does add not only like aesthetically what they're going for, which is that 80s vibe. You can't have an 80s band without like a synthesizer player, but it also just he kind of like is a decent player. So listening to his lines make the music sound more interesting to my ears than just guitar, bass, vocal. I've heard that a million times. It's interesting to hear live keyboard being played is my point. And by the way, isn't that Slash's son? I feel like someone told me that was Slash's. It looks like a little mini Slash, so it wouldn't surprise me, but Jesus. Guns N' Roses, this band is not. Again, we have more pitchy vocals. But I will say, at least the guy's gained some confidence. He's actually talking to the audience. He introduces the band now, unlike, the first or second time. He's like, no, I'm far too nervous. Justin, you do it. And Justin just I'm Justin Silverman. I work for Cinemassacre. I'm in my band Rex Fight. So at least this time, British guys introducing the band.
In fact, let's introduce each other, okay? I am James. This is James. That's James.
And then he even starts just talking about all kinds of random bullshit to where it's like...
Instead of like listening to CDs or like LPs and shit, I just rocked out to the fucking sound test screen from Sonic Adventure on my Dreamcast, baby.
Okay, yeah, we get it. You're comfortable with talking to the audience now. Please shut up. You're not saying anything relevance anymore. So then they go into Bramble Blast from Donkey Kong Country 2, one of the more beloved songs off of an already amazing soundtrack. And really, like, the coolest part was just the opening keyboard riffs. That was like, oh, holy shit. They're gonna, like, tackle this song. And it's got a pretty, like, important lead line in the original version on Super Nintendo. And the lead guitar player you can barely hear what he's doing. I don't even know if it's accurate or not, but it was like, fuck, missed opportunity, man. Like, you guys could have really, like, taken that song and, like, made a cool version. Although it's already been done. I think it was called Sticker Brush Symphony. They did a amazing cover of this song. Again, it's kind of like my first complaint in my first video. It's like, all of this shit has been done before. Like, none of this is new. Even taking it, like, live, like Bit Brigade, they're incredible at playing the Mega Man 2 soundtrack live with real instruments. Impeccable. In fucking impeccable. And so I guess the only angle here is that like they're mashing it up with 80s songs. But the problem there is 80s bands, especially the ones that they're choosing to cover, were really talented, and they had really talented singers and guitar players and drummers. That was the standard back in the 80s. If you were in a band, you had to be like this incredible, like Eddie Van Halen set the bar so high with his shredding ability. So every guitar player after that had to like put in that time to become that good at guitar. And like all the tenor male singers were being sought out at that time because a high male vocal was like, that was the industry standard. Then of course it would go to the low grunge shit in the 90s where you didn't have to sing that high. But you know, they're going for a time period where you have to have talent one way or the other. Either way you slice it. If you're doing a video game cover, you have to have talent because all the Japanese composers who made these original tunes were talented as fuck. I don't know where they got all that talent from to make these amazing themes back in like the mid to late 80s. Or if you're doing the 80s cover band route, you got to be talented there too. And Rex Viper just simply doesn't have the talent to pull this off in a way to make it impressive to me. So they fuck up Bramble Blast. And then they go into You're the Best Around, that 80s song. You're the best around, no I'm gonna never bring you down. And apparently they meshed that with like some song off of the video game Killer Instinct, which I don't know. I barely played that game. It was like a shittier Mortal Kombat to me, so I never got into it. Then they go into the Power Glove of Love, or whatever the fuck it's called. This song, again, I've heard way too much. They used some clips that the fans sent in. That's what that whole Twitter message was about, as we've heard before. And I guess someone even filmed the show with a DS, which they were trying to illustrate in one point in the video. And I mean, it's like, you know, isn't that kind of the cliche nerd thing to do now, is to like film something on an arcane piece of technology like a DS? That's almost like the first time you heard about you could play Doom on one of those scientific calculators. You're like, whoa, that's really cool. And now you can play Doom on like literally a microwave display, and it's like, okay, this isn't a novel concept anymore. Like filming shit with a DS camera isn't a novel concept anymore. It was novel 10 years ago when someone first did it, and then it became old kind of quickly after that. But I digress. I feel bad for whatever Screenwave slob was, whichever one is still even left over there. Whoever was in charge of syncing all these cell phone clips, because I've had to do this in my band several times, and it's a fucking pain. But this is a whole ass show. Like, they have to listen to the clip, be like, all right, what part in the master audio track does this fit into? And they got to get it right on the nuggets, all for the sake of, as the time of this video being filmed, all for the sake of about 3,500 views so far. And mind you, the Rex Viper YouTube channel itself is only sitting about at 1,300 subscribers. 1,300. James Rolfe, Cinemasker's got like, what, 2 or 3 million subscribers? And like the nerd videos get like 500,000 to 1 million to more. The newer ones, the older ones have way more than that. You would just think anything by proxy of James Rolfe is going to get at least 50K subs as soon as he opens up, like especially as cover band Rex Viper. But they're sitting at 1,300 subscribers, 3,500 plays for this concert that was released 3 days ago. You know what that means? I'm at almost 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, I'm bigger than Rex Viper. Shitload of fun! Big Frankie fan, by the way. So next we go into Eye of the Tiger handheld. God. I hate these songs so much. They are so corny and so stupid and so cringy. So they actually changed the lyrics back to rising up to the challenge of our rivals instead of rising up to the challenge of the Game Boy, which that right there just makes the song so much more listenable. Like, thank you. Thank you for eliminating that bit of like ultra cringe for me. I just rising up to the challenge of the Game Boy. It's like, ugh, it hurts. Lead guitarist only kind of fucked up the Mega Man 2 bit on this one. Next we get into The Touch, which is, I think it has something to do with Transformers. Guys, I grew up in the 90s. Transformers was a bit before my time. And then they fuse it with the moon theme from DuckTales, which I am aware of and quite like. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Bimmy doesn't have his guitar cord wrapped around his strap. Unprofessional, Bimmy. All right, I know I'm way out of frame here, and I don't care. So when you have a guitar like a Gibson SG, which is the kind of guitar that James has, you can cause a lot of damage if you just plug straight into the input like this. You know what happens if you accidentally step on this cord right here? It yanks at this input and can actually rip it out of the fucking guitar. Now, any real guitar player knows that you take the cord, you wrap it around the strap like this, and then you plug it into the input. That way, if you step on it, all the pull is going to go on the end of the strap here. It's not going to affect the input whatsoever. Every legit guitar player knows this. Everyone, every single one of them. I don't care who you are. So they're doing the Touch song, something to do with Transformers. I don't know what the fuck. I never heard the song, but then they go into the moon theme from DuckTales, and it's only cool because what the keyboard is doing. I mean, that's like the lead part, and this guy can actually kind of play, so it sounds cool. I'll give him that. And then it quickly turns into some kind of cacophonous mess, and that's most likely thanks to the lead guitar player playing the wrong notes. So, yeah, I mean, Rex Viper isn't the complete train wreck that they once were, but they're still a 2-bit operation that needs a hell of a lot more practice before they're stage ready. It does seem like some practice has been made to some degree, but the production was a little bit higher with the stage and the lighting. They didn't have a big-ass monitor projecting all of their videos this time, so you were kind of forced to watch the band, which the stage show really isn't there either. I think the drummer is the most talented in the band. The keyboardist is the most interesting in the band, even though he still fucked up some notes that were very obvious. The singer is pitchy. I mean, his voice is what it is. It is what it's going to be. Like, it's never going to, he's never going to magically be able to hit those notes any cleaner given the circumstances that they are in. Like, maybe in the studio, but even then he is straining to hit those notes. I mean, give him 5 years from now and his vocal cords might change to where he can't even strain to hit those notes anymore. So it's like, if they're going to keep doing this, they're going to have to lower the key. That's just all there is to it. I mean, James Rolfe is happily in the background, not doing anything too crazy, like his stupid fucking duck walk. I got to bring that up again. Yeah, he's having a blast just being in the background, not being, the front guy in any way, shape, or form. Thankfully, there were no stupid outfit changes. I didn't have to see him in some tiger print cloth like I did at one point for one of their performances. And yeah, I mean, I think him just knowing that everyone's there to see him specifically is all he needs. Bass player, whatever. He was fine. He's the bass player. As long as you kind of stay in the back and blend and just try to stay in the pocket, I'm not going to have issue with you. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if this band is just going to keep serving up mediocre slop, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be interested in reviewing every time they put something out. I've kind of said, well, I said that the last 5 videos too, and here I am, and you guys are fucking ravenous for this shit. I don't quite understand why. I guess maybe I do after talking to the Red Cow guys when we collaborated. It's like they want to hear, you guys want to hear someone who's semi knows what they're talking about break down the reason why they don't like it. You may know you don't like it, but you may not know why, and I'm here to explain what's going on with all this madness. But yeah, I mean, it really is one of those things that's got to be just for fun, because they're really not putting a whole lot of effort into making sure it's tight, making sure it's professional. And, I've done things that have been just for fun musically, but I guess I'm just so passionate about music that even if I do something that's just for fun, I still want it to sound like really good and like on beat, on time, on pitch, you know? So I guess I don't understand people who are going into my field, which is music, and doing something just for fun and then having it sound shitty and sloppy. And then I point it out and they're like, oh, come on, man, that's just for fun. It's like, no, sorry, I put a lot of respect into this art form, and a lot of other musicians that have come before me have really paved the way. So there is a little bit of respect that I expect when I'm watching a band that is charging people ticket money to see their concert. So that's where the just for fun thing doesn't hold up for me, and you should really just kind of play in your garage and live stream it for free if you're just going to do it for fun. So I think that's really all I got for this Rex Viper show that I was forced to watch by you, my loyal viewing audience. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as the last few. The keyboard added a lot, but it still sucked. You know, like, it's still the songs that we've all come to know and get annoyed or cringed out by. So that's kind of like my final take on it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. And yeah, I guess until next time, I think the next video we'll be releasing on this channel is my band's new music video for 7 Years of Broken Mirrors. Until next time, have a good rest of your night. Bye.